Be me, 26, introvert with a resting panic face. Live in a one-bedroom apartment that smells like instant noodles and hand sanitizer. Have a bearded dragon named Steve. He's the only creature I trust. Steve blinks sideways at me like he knows things. Accidentally match with girl on Bumble after scrolling with Cheeto fingers. Bio says, T-addict, INFJ, I'll read your tarot and your Google search history. Send a, hey, smiley face, like a total simp. She replies in 0.4 seconds. Your aura feels heavy, are you okay? Me, I'm just chronically dehydrated. Her, let's fix that with rosehip hibiscus and vulnerability. She invites me over for a tea ceremony on our first meetup. Think it's a joke, but show up anyway because I'm 87% lonely. Her apartment smells like incense and lavender trauma. There's a literal altar to Lana Del Rey in the corner. She's wearing a crochet top and a stare that's both motherly and predatory. We sit on the floor, knees touching, surrounded by loose leaf herbs and emotional danger. She brews something that tastes like warm dirt and secrets. Starts asking things like, what did your mother fear when she named you? Panic and say, probably tax evasion. She laughs like it's poetry, leans in, strokes my arm like I'm a wounded woodland creature. Steve's in my backpack, pokes his head out, blinks judgmentally. She gasps, you brought your familiar. Suddenly Steve is a spiritual entity and I'm the awkward warlock she's adopting. Date intensifies over the next few weeks. She texts me memes with crystal emojis and calls me Little Moss Man. Says we're twin flames but also Mercury is in retrograde so we shouldn't kiss. Every time I think we're finally gonna hook up, she pulls out a deck of tarot cards like it's foreplay. I drew the Hanged Man, so we need to wait until the universe gives consent. Me, I think that's just sexual procrastination. Her, that's your root chakra talking. Start developing what I think is love but might be vitamin D deficiency. Then her roommate shows up. Dude named River, dresses like a Victorian chimney sweep who also DJs. He immediately stares at Steve and says, he's a conduit. Me, conduit for what? River, messages from the astral crust. Me, blinking in Morse code for help. Cool. River starts crashing our tea sessions. Always smells like patchouli and pretentiousness. He brings his own tea blend called Libido Root Awakening. Tastes like horny bark. She laughs too loud at his jokes about capitalism and polyamory. They start finishing each other's spiritual sentences. Get real tired of being the third vibe wheel. Ask her if she and River are a thing. She says labels are a prison, but we do share soul skin sometimes. Me, so, yes. Her, only when Venus is in Pisces. Steve starts pooping more often out of pure protest. Decide to set boundaries. Show up one evening with actual chamomile tea from a box. No magic. Say I just want a normal date with no tarot, no aura talk. Just pizza and a movie. She looks at me like I shot her moon phases. Why are you resisting the sacred? Me, because I'm lactose intolerant and emotionally constipated. She starts crying, says I'm gaslighting her spiritual journey. River shows up mid-fight like he's been summoned by drama pheromones. You're dimming her frequency with your toxic logic. Me, you live in a basement and haven't paid rent in 3 moon cycles. He tries to sage me, literally waves smoke in my face. Steve bites him on the toe. Leave in a storm of incense and repressed rage. Block her on everything. Think I'm free, but she starts mailing me crystals. Like physically, wrapped in parchment with passive-aggressive notes like, this obsidian will help you confront the parts of yourself that fear my love. One day I get a box with Steve's name on it. Inside is a tiny lizard poncho and a note. He deserves better than your karmic baggage. Start getting tagged in her Instagram posts. Healing from people who colonize your spirit with skepticism. Dizzy broken heart. River comments, he was never aligned with our dimensions. Their next post is a couple's photo in the woods holding hands over a squirrel skull. Caption, found our third but they failed the shadow test. Feel like I'm trapped in an unsolicited indie film. Try to move on. Date a barista who thinks astrology is a marketing scam. Things are good until she asks why I flinch around tea. Steve stops blinking and just stares. Go to therapy, mention the situation. Therapist asks, do you often feel emotionally hijacked by women in crystal industries? Me, define often. Her cat starts judging me through the Zoom screen. Months pass. Start getting weird emails from strangers inviting me to healing retreats. Realize she made a podcast. Episode title, Reclaiming Your Energy from Lizard Men. She describes me as emotionally amphibious. Calls Steve an ancient being trapped in patriarchal captivity. The comments are all, OMG I dated a lizard man too, / he sounds like like a Capricorn. One girl DMs me and says, "Hey, are you the guy who hoarded crystals in his fridge?" Me, no, but I see how we got there. Steve becomes mildly famous on her TikTok. Video of him blinking with a voiceover. He saw his owner's lies before I did. Can't go to Trader Joe's without someone saying, "Wait, you're the lizard guy." Buy hoodies 2 sizes too big and wear sunglasses indoors. People think I'm in witness protection or hiding from the FBI. Technically not wrong. Now live in a different city. Don't talk to women who know their birth chart by heart. Steve lives in a terrarium palace, still judging me. Drink only black coffee and say, no thank you, to anything herbal. Look back sometimes and wonder if she ever really loved me, or just needed someone to project her unhealed Tumblr era onto. Moral of the story: if a girl ever calls your pet a familiar and your trauma her muse, run. Run like the wind. Because next thing you know, you'll be a footnote in her podcast, and a meme in her coven group chat. Now I'm emotionally celibate and Steve has more followers than me.